Hello and welcome back to Roads to Rome. I'm Keith.
And I'm Donna.
And we're back together again because last time I was on my own and I was just talking about how we'd had the roof completely rubberized, which turned out to be quite useful really because it's been non-stop rain.
It's been raining.
So and I've just been up there and it all seems to be watertight, and so I'm very pleased on that front. Now I said in the last thing, we've got one more big task to do, which is the shower. That'll be the next one that we do, because tomorrow we're going to start, and that's going to be just involve a lot of stripping.
On your part.
So anyway, we are going to get done, but we decided to get cleaned up and just do a little in the sort of in between type video, because we've developed a new side project, and we did sort of talk about it, or I did tease it, but just set the scene. What has given us this new plan?
The lack of spaces to go camping.
That's it, isn't it? It's just because everywhere we've been looking, and what you tried to book, you were looking at booking places.
Right. We couldn't book anything unless it was 6 months out. And right now, if you want to go into our state parks here, you can get in there in November, because they're just a first come, first serve after November. And I think all the facilities are closed and things like that. And we could probably do that, but I don't think we're quite ready. And there's a couple reasons why we're not ready, but...
Well, I think the first thing is that it's lack of availability.
Yes.
There's been... The pandemic has caused a massive upsurge in people buying motorhomes, and therefore going to parks, RV parks and national parks and stuff, and state parks. And it's kind of forced the choice down. So you don't really have so much choice about where you go. And so you're okay if you're like a boondocker and you can just go anywhere you want. And
maybe,
yes.
But
we're not. We're kind of weekenders, aren't we? We're weekend warriors.
Exactly. And we're east of the Mississippi as well. And when you're west of the Mississippi, I think it's a little easier to boondock because you have, the wild open west. So, and a lot of federal land.
Yes. So we decided to come up with an alternative plan, and look at having our own park, our own RV park, which is basically just buying a piece of land and making sure that we can get to it in a reasonable amount of time with very little effort, and do our own thing. Because I mean, as Donna said, we're not really keen, and I said in the last video as well, we're not really keen on being squashed against loads of other campers and stuff, especially because the pandemic's not over as far as we're concerned.
That's right.
So we're going to sort of continue to not isolate, but sort of take precautions where we can, but still try and have a holiday. So we're going to buy a piece of land. That's basically it.
And we're in no hurry to do that.
Correct. So a couple of weeks ago, we decided to do a test run, see how it would work. And so here's... this is some of the highlights of our little adventure a couple of weeks ago, having a look at a piece of land and seeing what we could do. Well, this is certainly an interesting turn of events. So where do I start? We have been looking at the demand for RV vacation spots in parks, and studying the way that everybody's complaining about the fact that they can't get a spot, or they have to book up months in advance, and that's not really the way we wanted to do it. So after a bit of soul searching, we decided that one of the things that we were going to explore was the idea of buying a piece of land where we could make our own RV park. And so we've been looking, and we found a couple, and we found a couple of likely spots, and one of them we're very, very keen about. So we are on our way to go and have. I might just add, this is a very exciting moment for us because we haven't really been out for a drive in nearly 2 years. So it's really interesting for us to be able to go. And I've got my snacks, which anybody in Britain will be pleased to see. I've got some Twiglets. And so I'm hoping to have them all eaten in the next 5 minutes. And then spend the next 2 hours trying to think, oh, I have an apple. I have an apple.
Oh, Twiglets and an apple? How
Twiglets and an apple. There we go. 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. How's it go? I spy with my little eye something beginning with S. Who's the new? We're heading to Edinburgh. And about suicide, how he kicking in the head when he was 25. I'm a dude. All the young dudes carry the news. I'm with you. All that I so wanna give. Yeah. Nearly at Rockford. Jim Rockford. At the tone, leave your name and number, I'll get back to you. What did you? Now, from time to time, we will keep bringing you videos that we take of us looking for a piece of land. We don't want it to be like a big mission, but we're going to have to keep doing it. You've got to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince, and as Donna subsequently found out.
I'm still kissing.
So anyway, we will bring you some films of our adventures as we look for a piece of land, and it's going to be quite exciting. I'm quite looking forward to it because this is a whole new thing for me. I mean, not only is living in a motorhome sort of a new thing, but buying land in America. I mean, it's complicated enough in Britain, but America has a whole different set of hoops that you have to jump through. So that's going to be quite interesting. But what we're going to do is we've got a checklist of things that's what we've now developed, is a checklist of things that whatever piece of land we look at has to meet one of or 5 criteria, and as many out of 5 as we can get, the better, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first one is, all right, that it needs to be flat.
And one of the reasons we went to look at this piece of land, it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and it was quite hilly. And you couldn't quite get the grasp of, or the lay of the land until we got there. And we couldn't even back the car up the drive. It was quite steep, and we thought, okay, there's no motorhome going in there if we had trouble with the car. So we realized that wasn't going to work, and the first thing that made it on our list was a piece of flat land,
right?
Because it was a beautiful piece of property. It was had a custom built cabin on it, 2.5 acres, and it was listed at $45,000, and we knew it was going to go quickly. And so we went down within, I think it was about 18-20 hours it had been on the market, and by the time we got down there and back home and sat on the sofa when we walked in the house, the phone rang, and it had sold.
It had already had an offer on it.
It had already sold and had an offer on it, and it wouldn't have mattered because after we had seen it, we knew it wasn't for us.
No.
It was perfect except for it wasn't flat.
I went to turn the car around
Yeah.
to get pointed in the right direction, and tried to reverse back up the driveway, and even the car was having trouble getting back up there. So it was quite a steep grade.
It was absolutely gorgeous. It had a beautiful vista. It had a creek running across the road there,
and it was very out of the way, wasn't
and
it?
it was extremely rural. But it was gorgeous.
And it was in there was no cell phone service there.
Yeah, there was no cell phone
That was
service.
something else that we haven't got on our list, but we need to put on our list.
Yeah.
So anyway, the checklist goes. Number 1, it needs to be flat. as flat as possible.
I actually had to have help walking across it because it was at such an incline to get to that beautiful shed, if you could say.
Right.
I couldn't believe a shed could be so beautiful, hand custom built. But I actually had to have somebody.
It's like walking on the roof.
Yes, it's just such an incline to get to it. It was not going to work at all.
So the second thing on our checklist is utilities. We need to have utilities because we're not boondockers. We could, if we wanted to, at a pinch, but that's not going to make it as enjoyable for us as a holiday.
I would like a power pole of some
So
sort.
we need utilities to it. Either we will put them in, or it needs to already have utilities running to it. And the other thing as well is zoning. That's the third thing on the list, is zoning. So
I'm looking for no zoning.
we need to make sure that we are able to do the things that we want to do,
Mm.
which is to bring a 30-year-old motorhome onto the piece of land, and then to be able to do things like have campfires and build a shed and build a hut or an entertainment place.
Exactly, and as most people know, you don't want an RV pulling in next to your home and lowering your property values and things like that. So we understand that. So we're looking for a rural area that, even though we love the motorhome and
yeah, but not everybody's going to want us rocking up next to them.
Not everybody's going to like an old motorhome being pulled in next to them, and I totally get that. So it's going to take a while to find the right piece of property and a place that will allow that. So
yeah, and that's going to very much dictate the fourth thing on the list, which is the budget. So we have a flexible budget for buying a piece of land, but it's contingent on the first three things on the list, which is whether it's got utilities run to it, whether it's got zoning, whether it's flat. So if it's got neither of the first three, then it's going to have to be cheap. But if it's got all of the first three, then we can afford to spend a little bit more on it, because that's work that we won't have to do. And the fifth and most important thing is that it needs to be within a 1 to 2 hour drive of our house. Or, as you calculated, it's a full tank of gas there and back.
I think, yes, exactly, because if we need to be able to get home, we want to be able to make sure we can do a round trip on 1 tank of gas.
Yeah.
In case there's an emergency or for whatever reason we need to get home, I don't think we should be any further than that.
And we figured out that it's going to be about 150 miles, as that's the fullest extent that this motorhome will travel and get back on 1 tank of gas. So that still gives us quite a bit of scope, really.
And for your friends and family in the UK, we have a 60-gallon fuel tank on the RV. So, and it gets anywhere between a whopping 7 to 9 miles per gallon. Now, for those of you in the UK, you can figure out how much that is a liter. It's
3.7 liters to the gallon.
So while we're paying over
$3,
how much are we paying for gas? How much is gas? I don't even
know. It's
know.
about $3 a gallon.
I don't fill the car up.
It's about $3 a gallon. But if you
UK
convert that to liters, let's say roughly four. So 3 4 is 12. So 60 gallons times 4, 6 is 24. So that's 240 liters. 240 liters ish.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not
with
even
my
going,
bad
I'm
math.
not even going. I don't trust your math, and I'm not going to even attempt it. So
anyway, it's not that far. It's about 150. So if you were in, I mean, like my family are in. I've got family in London. So if you were travelling from London, you could probably get to Hertfordshire, north of Hertfordshire, that sort of way, quite comfortably and back. So it's quite a large thing. I've got other family down in Cornwall. And
we'd never make it there and back.
With Cornwall, it would probably get you as far as, you'd be looking at Stonehenge and back.
Maybe.
As a run.
Yes, probably.
But anyway, we're looking about 150 mile top radius of where the house is. So that's the plan. So we will keep you updated as to where we go, and we'll keep journaling, and you can learn along with us as to the trials and tribulations of trying to get that sorted.
I will tell you the number one question that we've had from friends and people we've spoken to is they ask us when we are heading out after
Yes.
we renovate the RV. Well, while we're still working on the RV, that's probably been the number one question. And the reason why, and we're not going to go anywhere right away, is because we have, and something we don't like talking about, but we have an elderly dog. I can't talk about it, but she's a 90-pound dog, so we can't pick her up and just carry her. And she's elderly, and
She used to love travelling.
and she loved traveling in the RV. She's not a car dog, but she was okay in the RV. But so that's the reason why, is we can't take her with, and we're not in a hurry.
So it will be bittersweet if we
Yeah.
when we do get to go, because it'll mean that Sally's no longer with us. But we're quite happy in the meantime. Keep fixing it up.
Yep.
And making sure that she's comfy.
Yep.
And so we're not really, if we can buy a piece of land, we're not in any hurry to do anything with it. So we're just going to take it nice and easy. Sorry, this time of year, everybody's leaf gathering and sort of trying to tidy their properties up for fall. So that's why there's background noise.
But anyway, so that was the number one question
Yep.
that we always get from people. And so while we're not in a hurry for Sally to be gone, because we can't leave her or anything, and we can't take her, it gives us the opportunity to take the time to do and finish the RV exactly how we want it, whether it's decorating, maintenance, whatever, and everybody can kind of come along on the journey with us on that as we do it.
And plus we've got winter coming as well.
We've got winter coming, and we will be doing, I think, in maybe a couple, 2 or 3 more vlogs that we do. We'll be doing probably a whole reveal of the RV, which will be fun.
Yes, we need to do a walkthrough.
We need to do a walkthrough,
Yeah.
because it should be pretty complete inside. We'll have little things to do, but and we've done, like we said, we've done a lot of really fun decorating and things that you won't normally see in an RV, and it's been fun. We've had a
Yes.
great time doing it, and we hope that everybody enjoys seeing some of the work that we've done and the changes that we've made in just a plain 30-year-old RV, and how much fun that you can make it, and an office, because we've been using this as an office as well, outside of the house. So because
And I've done some live streams from
we've
here
done some
already.
live streams,
Yeah.
Keith was interviewed on a chat show in the UK, and streamed live from here, and so it's been good work wise, and that's why we started to do it anyway, because in March of 2020 we were meeting someone for our podcast in Chicago, and so that's how all this started about, was to do that. And we were going to be traveling by train, and then we're like, you know what, we can turn this into our mobile studio and office, so that's what we'll be doing.
Great.
So it'll be fun.
Okay, so the other thing that I promised you in the video that we just did, or that I just did, was some interesting things that have happened through because we've been buying a lot of stuff through Amazon. Mostly Donna has been doing it, and there's a very good reason why, and that's because I don't really read the instructions, and I don't really read the descriptions of the things that we buy. We have an Amazon Prime account, so Donna's golden rule is make sure everything is Prime, and there's a very, very good reason why. So we thought we'd have a couple of things just for a bit of fun, of things that we bought that were not the size we expected them to be when they turned up. Okay? So
what you're saying is you're not good with size.
I just don't read the instructions.
I think that's yes.
Yes, I don't read the instructions. So the first thing that we
I think anybody that knows you well enough, honey, probably knows that.
yeah, I tend to, that one-click purchase on Amazon is my downfall. All right, is that I can lay in bed with a tablet and see things and just click yes, yes, and then before we know it, something's turned up and it's not quite what we thought it, or what I thought it was going to be. So the first thing that we got was, we bought all this equipment.
Don't say we.
Don't
say we.
The first thing that I bought was, or the first thing that I wanted to get that was surprised me, was that we bought all this camera equipment and the lights and things like that. And I thought, because I have a background for music and stuff like that, microphones don't travel too well. So I thought, what we need is a good sturdy case that we can put cameras, microphones, lights, all that sort of thing in. A nice sturdy case. So now we were looking at these, the aluminum
not
aluminium or aluminum flight cases, and they were a bit on the pricey side. So I thought, well, there was some good sturdy plastic ones that that we could look for. So the first thing that we bought.
Hold on.
Oh, go on.
I printed off the page that you read, that you ordered from, and here's what it says in large print: portable, all-weather, waterproof camera case with foam, fit use of drones and camera equipment.
There you go.
And that's what Keith read.
So I read that and I thought,
that is perfect.
That sounds just the ticket.
We will get that, and that is what we will transport all of our camera equipment and everything in. And nice, sounds great. I said, yes, go ahead and order that, honey. That'd be fantastic.
So anyway, let me get that for you.
Mind you, we have a lot of camera equipment.
Are you ready?
For work.
Ready? Ta-da!
And what the funny thing is, what Keith didn't read was that it's 7 by 4 inches.
And that pretty much is. But
not only that, the camera, we couldn't even hardly fit our mobile phone in this case.
It's a camera case. I think.
Is there even anything in it?
Yes, it's got all our. It's got microphones in it, but little lapel mics.
The little lapel mics. Yeah. It won't even hold our phone. Probably, maybe. I don't know what camera they think or drone is. I guess little drone bits might fit in that.
Drone parts, but
yeah.
But anyway, so that was that was one thing that we got that I thought, you know what, I'm going to leave the buying to Donna from now on, because.
But he didn't.
No, because the next video that we are going to do is, let me put that down. Let me put that out. The next video that we are going to do is a video about converting the shower, because the shower is.
Is that the one you're stripping in?
Yes, that's the one I'm doing the stripping for.
Okay.
But God help everyone. But the shower will need to be repainted. So and because obviously we're indoors, we can't use a spray paint, or if we did use a spray paint, we'd have to sheet the whole thing off. So we thought, okay, what we need is we need to strip the brass off, make it suitable surface to repaint. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? And we're going to need to repaint, and we are going to put it on by brush. And we watched a couple of videos. You like Tyler and Todd, don't you? And I love
Tyler and Todd.
They did a video about repainting their shower, and we watched how they did it, and we thought, okay, that looks like that's something
we can
doable.
Do that.
So we bought some proper paint for it, and we bought
the paint that they used.
Yes, and we bought some acetone to actually get the brass effect, make it worthy of taking a paint. Yes. And we thought, and they said that you need to get some decent brushes, 1-inch type brushes. And so back to Amazon again I go, and in haste I bought a paintbrush. Now,
did you click Prime?
I didn't click Prime, so that means I had no control over when it was going to be delivered. And this brush has taken a long time.
We just got the brush not that long ago, and we ordered it at the beginning of September.
And it's now mid-October.
It took 6 weeks to get this paintbrush.
So it's come.
And I asked the seller
on
Amazon, I said, Can you tell me if this paintbrush is being shipped from China? And the seller came back and said, yes. And it is being shipped via China Post. So, right now we currently have a backlog of ships at sea out on the West Coast. Well, one of them probably had
this on it.
This paintbrush in it that Keith ordered because he didn't order something that was local or close.
And neither was it the size that I was after. Because, yes, it's a 1-inch paintbrush.
Again, you did not read the description.
But I didn't know it was that big. This is a paintbrush for Ken and Barbie to decorate their house. This came all the way from China. It took 6 weeks to come from China.
I think you should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. How tiny that little paintbrush came from China. And the moral to the story
is
read the descriptions and don't.
Did it say anything on the description?
Oh yes, I have the description. It says professional nylon paintbrush. Hair different size. Wooden handle.
Correct.
Watercolor paintbrushes for acrylic oil painting. School art supplies. And Keith thought, that is perfect to do a shower surround. I will pay that $4.40 to have that shipped via China Post.
So anyway.
And a cargo ship for 6 weeks to get that.
Which just goes to prove something about the Chinese economy, right? Is that how that is profitable, right?
I think it goes to show you...
It's a $4 paintbrush.
I think it goes to show you how people don't pay attention.
It's a $4 paintbrush that's been shipped via container all the way from China to the United States, and they can still make a profit off of that. So it says something about the Chinese economy when they can make a profit out of that.
Do you see what I'm dealing with? You didn't order one. It looks like you have two.
We have two.
Oh, well, there's a backup then. Did you pay $8.80 for two? You paid $8.80 for them to send you two.
That's okay. I can use them somewhere.
I imagine you'll find...
I can do impressions.
No, don't do that. But I think you will find a use for them. That's for sure. But
anyway, well, we might find a use to do it for.
That was our funny.
For doing crevices and stuff like that. So anyway, I will not be ordering any more stuff from Amazon. It's all down to Donna from now on. So...
As it should be.
Anyway, but I'm sure we'll find more and more stuff. But if you have bought anything from Amazon that didn't quite fit the description or surprised you when it turned up, then by all means let us know, because we'd be interested.
Do you not read the instructions?
I think there's a whole video. There's a deep mine of
there is a
vlogging
here. World out there where people could just... Well, Danny Baker, that we used to listen to, Danny Baker used to have a thing on people leaving hilarious feedback, reviews on Amazon. And I think there could be a whole... If somebody wants to do it out there, there could be a whole vlog world out there just on Amazon orders and reviews. It's hilarious.
Didn't quite meet expectations.
Didn't quite... Exactly.
Things that you thought, and I just think that if you've ordered anything that was either too big, much bigger, or much smaller than you thought it was going to be when it turned up, then by all means let us know. Because
and you always think this little thing is much bigger than what it actually is, don't you?
That's the problem with most men.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, so so that's wrapped it up, really, hasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's
We've probably bored you enough.
Yeah, exactly. But we do have upcoming video on the shower.
Doing the shower. That's the next one up. And if we find a piece of land in the meantime... Yes,
we're going to keep looking for a piece of land.
And I am also going to attempt some cooking as well. Mm-hmm. Because I like to cook. And
we love outdoor cooking.
And we've got a lot of outdoor cooking equipment. Mm-hmm. And we have a fire pit ready made. So before we even hit the campsites... I'm going to try and do a campfire cooking episode, which should be interesting. And what would you like me to make?
Well, it's cold,
Right.
so I would think like a stew or a soup or something.
Okay. All right. Well, so and we've got a nice cast iron pot as well. Nice big cast iron pot.
Another Amazon order from Lodge.
That turned up
Made in
the
America.
right size.
Yes.
That was the right size when it
That
turned.
was very that's very large. Yes.
If I'd have ordered it, it would have just been a
I
single
do
little
believe. No. I
pie.
actually do believe you had picked it out, and it is huge.
It is beast.
I
It's a
said,
beast.
I know it's just two of us. How many do you plan on feeding?
It's a
But
cast,
I think
cast
you
iron
can
beast.
cook pies and bread and sorts of things. It's a Dutch oven.
Yes.
It's a Dutch oven.
Yes.
And Lodge, made in USA. So
It's a lot of food you can get in there anyway. So anyway, well, the eating's never been my problem. So anyway, so we'll be doing a cooking video as well. So if you want a channel that has absolutely no consistency to it in terms of content and format, then this is the one for you. So keep watching. So if you want to see more of this chaos.
and Keith will be stripping in the next one.
Yes, I'll be stripping in the next one. So if you want to see that, hit the like button, all right, or hit don't like. I don't know, but so hit the like button, or if you're really daring, it doesn't cost you anything, but hit subscribe, and that gives us a little bit more kind of a little more confidence to keep on going, because we don't have that many viewers, so it's a pretty exclusive club right now. You want to be part of it. So yeah, hit the subscribe button. And we'll keep pushing this content out, and we hope you enjoy it. So we'll see you next time. But in the meantime, remember that roads were made for roaming.
And you can too.
Bye-bye.
And one day we will. Bye.
Bye.